Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Don't cry for me, Argentina!
You know how much I love Snorlax? I'm gonna prove it to you. These are my slippers. All right, Snorlax, Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap who knows. I'm a grown man and I'm rocking Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap.
Oh yeah, is that sauce good? Oh, that sauce is good.
This is Harlem, baby, and we doing nothing but blackety blackities. I'm like, listen, sir. Can we just have a superhero show?
The cops are on my back, Luke. You gotta get these blue folks up off me, dog.
I'm like, bruh, how much more of this I gotta watch?
I've been told by lore people for this stuff for House of the Dragon for the books. Yeah, Rhaenyra, she was into dining at the Clam Slam. She was into that.
Clam Slam.
She slammed clams. She dined at the oyster bar. She was all into that. You know what? There is a single reason why I wouldn't want to become a merman. I wouldn't have my penis anymore.
Yo, you let the joint hit the back of your throat. Have you no shame?
Oh, these two girls when you kiss, they're gonna be hot. Oh, yo, Elizabeth Hurley's gonna get butt naked in this.
I was coming in my pants.
Let me do it myself here. Let me get it up real quick. Hey, shut up. Shut up. I didn't mean it like that, you perverts.
Stop touching my penis. Stop doing that. I did not consent to this type of touching. Stop it. It's wrong.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
I'm retarded.
I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun. I'm not gonna try and win hearts and minds, pretend I'm something I'm not. Like a video game. No, it's bullshit. Not real.
What?
Game over, man. It's game over.
But we don't want Revan touched. No.
Agreed.
You don't want anything good touched.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because Disney Star Wars is a bad touch.
It is a bad touch.
Touches you in the bad place.
It's a bad touch.
Show me on the doll where Disney Star Wars touched you.
I need a bigger doll.
Oh, God.
There's no doll left.
Oh, you will taste and see that I am delicioso.
Please, sir, can I have some darkies?
Well, we're talking about people who have serious sexual orientation and gender identity problems. And I'm not talking, and when I say sexual orientation, I don't mean, a dude who likes a dude and a chick who likes a chick. We're talking about people who think that they're non-binary and they don't know how to play with their holes and shit like that.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
There is nobody of merit there. It's for their new fan base. That's who D23 is for. Everybody who went there knowing they sniff crotch and suck shit.
I got so excited, I started to pee myself. It was great.
Impressive. Most impressive.
And I gotta say, any person who uses a Funko Pop or gets a Funko Pop immediately disqualifies themselves from any fan discussion.
Unless you're getting it for a mocking reason to make fun of something.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Or if it's a gift from someone.
Both of y'all suck. I hate you both.
If it's a gift from someone who doesn't know better, that's fine. I have a couple of those. But if you're going out collecting Funko Pops,
no, you're retarded. Funko Pops are awesome. I hate myself. I have a problem.
I've got loads of them.
You're a girl. You're allowed to do it. You're a girl.
It's okay for girls. They're exempt. Dre, this is not okay. We need to have an intervention.
I have a problem. I've got no shame. My name is a pimp named Dries, and I believe I've misplaced some merchandise at this residence. Lord Jesus and the shepherds, where is Daddy's money? I will not hesitate for one solitary second to put hands on somebody if I don't have my monies.
I will twerk on her on the bed. I ain't gonna do it in the middle of the dance floor.
That's what I'm. Yeah, whatever.
That's all right.
Why? My brain didn't need that. I'd already seen too many pictures of Shooty Gatwa today.
What?
Well, there's an image in my mind.
You get nothing. You lose.
I'm colored.
Shut up.
Yeah, you know what? This freaking existed. It exists. That exists.
You just imagined it.
I guess. Kind of hurts. I think it's physical.
This is why I do crystal meth.
You got to watch it. You got to hit the like button.
We've got to get it up for him, guys. Come on. Everyone who's watching this video needs to go over
Don't say it like that.
And share the video. We got to keep going.
Don't they have to get it up for me? Don't say it like that. God damn it. And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you know, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs. You know?
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Hey, look, it's a show. We're here.
No way.
We're here. Wow. You go away for a week, and I don't know if I can still YouTube. I don't know. This feels weird. It feels strange. It feels foreign. A little uncomfortable. We'll go through with it anyway. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the round table. Had a week off. I had to watch Jed get married and therefore ruin our whatever this is forever. I'm brokenhearted forever. He's left me.
I have.
Yes, it's done. It's over. But welcome back, everybody. We had the week off, and here's the thing, man. You go away for a week. You're used to keeping track of stuff, and there are the weeks where nothing happens, and it's like, oh, great. It was not that hard to keep eye on this, on that, and you go away, and literally 5 million things happen at once, and you come back and you don't know where to start because I'm watching everybody around me. When I'm out there in the wild touching grass, I know I touch grass, and everybody's doing
that's not the only things he touched.
Yeah, well, they touched me. I didn't exactly touch them, but
he got a motorboat quality boobs.
I got they were pressed against the back of my head. It was nice. I'm watching everybody do shit on their phones. I'm just going like, I can't do this, old man on the phone. I can't do it. Need my computer with a keyboard and mouse. Anyway, but we are back. I am a boomer. You know better than ever now that I'm a boomer. We're back. We are here to provide you guys with some entertainment. There's no exact title for what we're going to cover today because we're going to be throwing things up against the wall and see what sticks for conversation because I have done like this much research on everything because I got back yesterday night and I was awake for a little bit, and then I passed out. If you were watching Saturday, you know I went silent at one point. That's because I fell asleep. All right? Passed right out. Okay? So we're going to do our best for you guys. We hope you are happy to see us, and the best way to do that is to hit that like button. It's one of the best ways to do it. Show us the love. Show us the love. Let us know that you are happy to have us back, that you are not a stand. You don't hate us. All right. You know how that's false? Because my mic was muted on my headset. Okay, you didn't hear.
I can confirm that he does that while he's sleeping, though.
Yeah, I can confirm you snore too, motherfucker. And I'm a little sick, guys. I'm a tail end of a cold. So
he caught something from the strippers.
It doesn't happen that quickly. You got to go get the tests. But no, I was that is bullshit static because my boom mic was muted. All right, I specifically muted it. So you motherfucker couldn't hear me. All right, I passed out on Saturday. I did pass out. Woke up. They stuck me in a room that said Dermy's best friend. So I appreciate that. Anyway, all right. So hail everybody, and now let's hear from the man who is no longer on the market himself. Jed, how you feeling after a week of all that we went through?
I mean, the week itself was fantastic. Nothing went wrong, and that's what everyone told me. Be prepared for stuff to go wrong. Nothing went wrong. Had a wonderful time, and I'm so out of the loop on everything pop culture, just like you are. So I'm going to be reacting to most of this for the first time. Maybe I saw it on Twitter, but never. I haven't researched any of this stuff. So this will be an interesting stream for us. Really, just impromptu in every sense of the word. But I did a little bit ruin my wedding week by deciding to go see the Minecraft movie the night after my wedding.
Yeah.
That wasn't the correct decision. I'm going to say that now. That was the wrong decision. And I no longer fear for the future of humanity. We are lost. We are doomed. We do not deserve to be saved. Humanity does not deserve to be continued. And after the reception to the Minecraft movie, Gen Z and Gen Alpha should be exterminated. Full on, like we're getting ready to commit some hate crimes here. I've never wanted to be a domestic T word in all of my life more than when I walked out of the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, see, we have no idea this movie came out this week. I think it was
We didn't know that.
It was Friday. It was Friday. Friday afternoon. We're traipsing around Universal, and suddenly we learn Minecraft movie came out yesterday. What? I thought I had a little more time on this. And, of course, we shrugged. We're like, it's going to be shit. Well, that's going to be part of today's discussion. Apparently, it's a freaking hit.
It's so disappointing. I was telling Adam in the pre-show, at least with the Avatar situation when Avatar 2 blew up, I understood, like, oh, it's a pretty movie. People like the pretty visuals. I cannot wrap my brain around why Minecraft is popular. Yeah. I physically cannot.
Well, we're going to attempt, because we're going to look at the box office, among other things, do a little catch-up, little roundup here and there. Before that, Dragon Lady, how are you?
All right. I'm doing all right. Not much happening over here, really. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for playing. All right. Okay, so, all right. So, hail and howdy to the chat. We are happy that you've continued to join us even after we left you wandering the wilderness for a week. Hail the goddess and Ruben X, my mods. You'll keep the peace and probably get a hefty amount of trolling done today because, as Jed said, this much research today. I am not prepared for anything. Normally, I know what we're going to talk about. I've talked about it on a video or two maybe during the week. Nothing at all. So it's going to be an adventure. Hail Static. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Derby goes, you've been away for 2 weeks. Jed, from a Friday to a Friday, what is that?
That's called a week?
That's called a week. Fat retard's like, you've been away for 2 weeks. No, I missed 2 ball busters, which happened to coincide from a Friday to a Friday. That's not 2 weeks. So no, I have not been away for 2 weeks, but I will.
It's dance. Like 8 days.
But I will dance for your entertainment, Static. Hail, Kale. Welcome back. Hail, son of Joxer. How are you, my friend? Hail, Frank. Yes, I agree with this statement. I will always agree with this statement every time. But going on down. Anybody else who is here? All right. Anybody else? Oh, hail, Gizzard. Hail, Gazad. How are you? Oh, good. Good. That means you're healthy. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, and anybody else who was not chatting, just hanging out in the chat, watching us, we appreciate you guys joining us, and we are happy to have you here after a week's absence on our end. And let's get going. So, as I said, this is I always say cobbled together show, but it's usually in jest because it's usually a light week, and I'm doing the best I can. No, this was a heavy week. A lot of shit went down, and I have no take on any of it outside of previous things like my belief that Minecraft movie would do shit. Well, I'm looking like I'm going to carry an L on that one at the moment. It could have a massive drop-off. It could. But by what the feeling I'm getting, no, I'm going to be made to look like a fool for that prediction. So we're going to talk box office. We'll get to look because we missed a week, but doesn't matter because Snow White didn't go anywhere. In fact, for comparison, it looks like it will be one of the worst movies of all time for Disney, and that's including Captain Marvel. Then we got a couple other things, a couple stories about television shows, a couple stories about movies. There's a big thing about something called the Nintendo Switch 2 announced last week. And I thought we'd just be talking about the announcement, but no, there's other shit now involved with the Nintendo Switch 2 announcements, which I am actually interested in that discussion, not because I want to talk economics or politics, but whether or not it's a bullshit tactic to drive up demand and to get people more frenzied to get it. So we'll be talking about that. What else do I have here? Let's take a look. And we'll be talking stuff like Superman. There was Superman news this week. I believe at the beginning of the week, Chris Gore on another stream, and then it filtered down to other streams, talked about how there was a screening of the Superman movie, but then there was a clip released at CinemaCon this week. Of course, I think I've only seen part of it, and the part that I did see attached to the same goddamn trailer they've shown 4 times now. Red flags remain. Red flags remain. So we got that. And of course, I saw it mentioned in the chat. Yes, we will react to the Tron Ares trailer. Another movie I said, who gives an F about that in my predictions? Well, apparently people are giving an F. They are giving an F. But anyway, so there we go. Let's do a little warm-up. See where we go. All right, Jed, this one's for us because we talked. You and I talked about it in real time a little bit, but Doctor Who. We are a week away. This time next week, the premiere of Shooty Who season 2. Now you'll be on location, close to the nuclear blast. But I'll be here.
I'll swing by Cardiff to see if it's still there, if the rift opened up and swallowed up Bad Wolf Studios.
Yeah. But next Saturday night, we will get the premiere of Shooty 2 Season 2, Episode 1. I will be reviewing it. The review will drop either Sunday or Monday. Depends on how I get around to doing it with this and everything. But then next Monday will be the return, perhaps the final lap ever, of Doctor Who Cares reviews, where Jed, myself, and Dermy will do it. Now, it should be me and Dermy next week. I think Dermy's lined up for it. Jed will be on location. Won't be here. But then when we come back, we'll still have another 6 weeks of joy. But we got some stuff that you have to, Jed. They couldn't help themselves last week, could they? Over there at Shooty Central.
There's so much going on. I don't even know what you're talking about specifically. Right. If you're talking about Monday's comments.
Monday's comments. We'll start with Monday's comments. Go.
That's the one I know.
Yeah. So.
All right. So, yeah, with Monday's... What's that? We've lost our rhythm.
Yeah, we have no rhythm. No. Being in person destroyed our rhythm completely.
It did.
I got a cough. Go.
All right. So, yeah, the actress playing Monday, who I don't know her name yet, and I don't know if it'll ever stick in, but
she played a lesbian on Andor.
Okay, the lesbian from Andor named Monday in Doctor Who, following up on the great work of Big Tit Sunday, decided to come out and say, we take it as a badge of honor, paraphrased of course, as a badge of honor when we're called Dr. Woke. And she said the first day on set with Shooty Gatwa for season 2, when she came on set, Shooty laughed and said, oh, we're going to make so many people mad, the two of us in the TARDIS, the first non-white TARDIS. And they're very proud of this fact. The part of the marketing's been based off this. The actors are always talking about, isn't it so great that there's no white people on Doctor Who anymore? Even though it's a British show, which is primarily white country, and it's an institution of their culture. Yeah. It is Andor lesbian Monday from India, or was she born in? Is she just ethnically Indian?
She's just a brown girl. I don't know.
I wonder if she's actually British, because it'll be the first time in a while that we don't have a British actress playing the companion.
Okay,
so they're very proud of being woke. And that's what we've said for years, is they do this on purpose. This isn't this is just fitting with the times. They're doing what the audience wants. It's unintentional. It's just, it feels right. No, they're consciously doing this. And if this is the attitude, the writers are 100% saying, how can we make this more woke? That's the atmosphere that Russell T Davies, and I imagine Chris Chibnall before him, cultivated on set, that being woke was the way to go. That was the goal. And to get hate, like Shootagot was said, is also the goal. They like destroying Doctor Who, in my opinion. They like when they see real fans get upset about all this. That's all this has ever been for Russell T Davies, I think.
I don't disagree at this
Propaganda.
point. I mean, I've asked this question before. Does this, with comments like this, where there's no way they didn't get the sign off to talk like this in promotional articles like this. There's no way that Russell T Davies didn't say, "Oh no, don't talk like that. We don't want to anger the fans." He said, "Go ahead, do it." At this point, so we always knew that Russell T Davies was a man of the left. That's not in question.
No.
But what was the reasoning? Maybe that's the wrong word. How do we account for the fact that 20 years ago he managed to make good television and not behave like this?
There's a couple things. He did have studio oversight the first time. There were a few decisions, extreme political ones, that he tried to make in the original show that have been reported that were kiboshed by the BBC. But unfortunately, as sad it is, and much as I do feel sympathy for Russell for this, I do believe that it all stems from the death of his husband. That changed his partner. That changed his outlook on life, his outlook on politics, his outlook on creativity, and made him want to fix the world.
Well, fixing the world is not having the stars, and I say that very loosely because neither of these actors are stars in any way, shape, or form. Your stars of your season come out and say, "We are happy to piss off fans." That's not fixing the world. That's pissing in people's face and telling them it's raining. And I will forever not understand not wanting as many people as possible to watch it, to claim we're the first non-white TARDIS in history. Why does that matter so much? I mean, it's not as though the Doctor hasn't had diverse companions in the past when they weren't even trying. I mean, Martha Jones, if I said it was Jones, right?
Yeah, Martha Jones.
Good. My memory's a little wonky this morning. Martha Jones is beloved.
Still to this day.
Yeah. She's beloved. And when she was brought on as the companion, my first thought wasn't, "Oh, she's black." My first thought was, "Oh, pretty girl." That was my first thought back then. "Oh, pretty girl. I like this." Now, I'm not the biggest fan of that season personally, but
it wasn't her fault.
No.
I think she did good. Her arc was an interesting one, especially with the way her arc ended. It was unique. At that time, at least, Rose was the only one to compare it to, and she didn't leave voluntarily, and a lot of the subsequent companions didn't leave voluntarily. Even Classic Who, that harkened more to Classic Who when they all left when they were ready. The Doctor took unrefined people who were still needing character development, and when they were finished with their time on the Doctor, they parted ways and never really saw each other again. And that was Martha. Martha was a classic companion, in my opinion. Her arc is very much in line with what a lot of the classic companions went through, and I like that. She's not my favorite of New Who, but it is interesting.
That's my point. She was a companion first, and everything else was second. There was no lens of race dictating how we viewed her. We saw her as a companion. She had a story. As I said, that season is not my favorite. In fact, I remember dipping out halfway through. I came back much later to finish it up and roll forward. But it was still a real companion who had hopes and dreams, not based on her skin color, not based on her gender.
And they didn't make whole episodes about it. They did briefly mention her race as being a thing in her second episode, I believe it was, when they went to go see William Shakespeare. And she's at first like, "Hey, do I need to worry about this modern day? You know, I've been told that, you know, if I'm a black person in medieval Europe or in 1600s Europe, will I be carted off as a slave?" And the Doctor's like, "Just act like you own the place and you'll be fine." And that was it. And she was totally fine. I mean, she was called like a Nubian queen and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything racist. That's how you should address stuff like that. If you have to even mention it, do it like that. We're not having a Rosa Parks episode with Martha.
Yeah, so you go through Martha, you go through Amy, you even go through Clara with all her problems, but they still have stories. The problems begin when you get to, "Hey, my name is Bill and I'm gay." That's where the problems started. And I say again, Clara, filled with problems, but she still had a story arc. And we just were disgusted with her by the end. We just didn't want her anymore. But Bill, hi, I'm Bill, I'm gay. Jed, was there any other thing to Bill besides hi, I'm Bill, I'm gay?
No, there wasn't really any character development with her except for the 2-part finale. I will point to her character development in that one when she got shot as being the best part of her character, when she got turned into a Cyberman that stripped away all her human characteristics, like being gay. And I think her character arc in that 2-parter is actually very sound. I like Bill in that 2-parter. But besides that, yeah, she's just gay black woman, and that's it. That's what she's there to serve.
And then we get to the merry band of half-wits who followed Jodie Whittaker around. None of them had any character development whatsoever. And whenever they attempted it, Jodie's failure as a doctor to even remotely connect destroyed the rhythm of all that. Like, oh, I had cancer. Okay.
That's nice. Let's walk away because I'm awkward. Yeah. Oh, I'm disabled. I shake a lot. Well, don't do that anymore. Oh, I'm not disabled anymore.
Yeah.
That was Ryan's arc.
Yeah. And then you get back to we came back to, God damn it. My brain isn't working.
Russell T. Davies came back, or are you talking about Yaz?
Yeah, no. Well, we're past. No, I already lumped her. No, then RTD comes back, and we get David Tennant back, and let's just recycle a favorite companion whose story was done.
It was
whose
beautifully
story was
done.
Complete. It's just so we can stoop in. Hi, my name is not Rose. I'm a man. What was his? What was his real name?
Jason.
Jason. Hi, I'm Jason Noble. I have a penis, but I wear dresses and pretend to be a woman. Yeah, it's gonna get good.
And Jason is still underage, but working for UNIT.
Yeah. So you get all that kind of stuff right there. And here we are, that shooty. And then, listen, we mentioned her. Millie Gibson is Ruby Sunday, hot little potato, but her character is this much. She's tits. That's all she was tits. Hi, I'm
so this
special.
much.
But they built the whole thing up like she was gonna be something special, but she wasn't anything. She wasn't anything at all. Also, we can get now to Sunday. So, and hail for the smooth raid. I see it. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Hit that like button. Enjoy the rest of the show if you stick around. Point is, here we are. All that's even through all these crap companions, that's a shit ton of diversity in the TARDIS. Nobody cared. But now suddenly it's, look at us, the non-white TARDIS. And we are now going to push that angle. And let's just go that. Let's not say, hey, everybody, we're going to tell exciting stories. We're going to tell stories that harken back to classic Doctor Who adventures, where the Doctor and his companion are going to find a problem in the universe and do their best to save it while fighting against time. Shit like that. No, it's let's have really gay experiences. Let's go. Let's do an episode completely based on the awards ceremony shit they're gonna do. What is that thing called?
Eurovision.
Eurovision. Thank you. Let's do that.
And air it between a major soccer game and Eurovision itself. That episode is gonna get terrible ratings.
Yeah. So let's do all that. And have I missed anything with what they're doing?
Oh, you can't list everything that they're doing. There's so many.
So hang on a second. I have my Night Raider lightsaber. I do have Open Connect on my thing turned on, so it should have worked. But I'll throw you in there just to be on the safe side when we're done here today. Anyway, but this is their promotion. We're a week in. Jed, have they done anything real positive to get any sort of turnaround? Because the Disney money's dried up. And Disney's on the fence about the renewal. We haven't heard of season 3 renewal, have we?
Oh, yeah. There's no news on season 3's renewal. All that we've heard is the decision will be made after at least season 2 starts coming out, probably after it's completely out and the reception is out there. Disney is reportedly very unhappy with Russell T Davies' work on the show, but Russell T Davies has said that he's confident the show will continue whether or not Disney's involved. I don't believe that whatsoever. That is not something that I can find myself believing. But all the marketing has been surrounding stuff like this. Oh, we're the first non-white TARDIS. Ooh, we're showing it to the chuds. We're diverse. It's Eurovision, stuff like that. Even the trailers. We've barely gotten a trailer of any sort of size less than a month ago, and the promotional material is lax at best. I don't think I've seen a promotional material for a new season be this small.
You got one trailer, I think. That was
it. One trailer, and it's been re-edited into a couple clips and stuff like that. But it really doesn't seem like they put any money into the marketing. I think Disney's out. And so they're not willing to invest in the marketing because the marketing is not part of their deal. So they can make that decision as they come up to it, how much they're willing to invest. And the BBC can't afford worldwide marketing on the level that Disney can. So the marketing campaign is virtually non-existent. I think they know that they have a turd on their hands and they can't back out. It's too late. Season 2 was in the chamber. Everyone who said, hey, look, Shooty season 2 is coming. Everything you're saying about season 1 can't be true. Obviously, Disney likes it. No, that was part of the contract. It was a certain amount of episodes that were greenlit, and the rest of those episodes are being taken care of with the spinoff between the war between the land and the sea. So they had an episode count that is contracted. They can't back out of that. But as soon as those episodes are done, Disney's out and the funding's going to dry up because BBC is struggling on its own right now. The BBC they're trying to force their people to pay for everything the BBC's doing, and even that's not working. Not even compulsory TV licenses are enough to keep the BBC afloat.
So, do you think we're going to get the lowest viewed Doctor Who episode in history this season?
Well, we just got the lowest viewed with Shooty's last set of episodes. Okay. So I think we're going to be right around there. I think that'll be the average. So I do imagine we will get at least one that's worse. But with how low it was, I feel like that'll be the average of what we're seeing. I don't think we're going to see anything abysmally bad compared to that all-time low. They're all going to be competing for the all-time low spot, but I don't think we're going to get anything that's like 200,000 views or something like that. I do think we are going to drop below 1 million overnight views, though.
Oh, that's going to be good. I can't wait. And you know what? Let it burn.
Let it burn.
Let it burn. I mean, here's the thing. And we've said this before. This is not a new statement by either of us talking about this. Doctor Who is a franchise that can afford to go on ice for a very long time. And the problem is, though, even if it goes on ice and comes back in, let's say, a decade, let's put it like that. If it ever comes back, whoever comes around to take the helm, like RTD did when he was capable of making good television, they have to be brave enough to erase everything, including everything that Chinballs did, including the Timeless Children. That has to be erased because they'll never get us back as fans. They will just keep us as critics who will show up to roast it and put it on display for the crap that it is. So, of course, there's no way to know who could be somebody strong enough mentally, talented enough creatively to buck the idea of, oh, you can't change this. Yes, you can. You can. It's the same thing I say concerning Disney Star Wars. If somebody once Disney gets rid of it, because one day I still believe they will. We'll talk about that. Maybe not today, but next week when we got Celebration to talk about. Yay. When something is rejected by literally 90% of your fan base, which is what Doctor Who has been rejected, the people are left are not fans. They're barely even stans. I don't know what to call them. When your fan base is gone, you must do the drastic measure of going back to what originally attracted your fan base. And that involves cutting away rotted tissue, infected, disgusting, disease-ridden filth that is killing the body. Cut it away, burn it, sear it shut, and then try to go forward from there, maybe entice new growth. You have to realize that the real fans, if they see a move like that, will come back and give you a chance. If they canceled everything and said Timeless Children didn't happen, I would go, okay, I'm listening now. But you still have to earn my complete trust again. But you've got my attention, and that's the important part. They only have our attention. They only have our attention to roast, and that's not good. And that's so Doctor Who's a brand can survive, but they have to be brave in the future and realize that the modern audience, which they chased and doesn't exist, will not wait patiently, while you and I and others like ourselves will watch and wait and see what happens. And if something looks like a good faith move is made, then we'll go, okay, now what are you going to give me? We're talking, we're conversing, we're having a conversation, we're building a bridge, but we need more material to build that bridge. So
well, I think that really shows the state of the franchise is they have to make an unprecedented decision just to get fans to say, we'll give you a chance. What will you give us? Not a full return like, hey, this is going to be amazing. Let's dive headfirst back into it. Just a maybe. And that's an unprecedented decision to get us to that point, because I don't think any other franchise has made a decision like you're talking about, a complete, hey, everything from this point onward is complete garbage. We're excising it from the franchise, giving you exactly what you want. We've had a few little things that are like, oh, this movie's following this timeline, or it's following from this, like real half-baked answers like that, but nothing that is, we need a clear statement that says that was bad, we are destroying it. And that's never been done in the history of IP, as far as I'm aware. I'd love to know if anyone's ever done that before. But we need someone who, like you said, is bold, who's brave, who's actually a real Doctor Who fan. Because sometimes you can get away with having someone who's not a huge fan of an IP taking over a franchise and helping it get back on track. I think we'll have to wait and see if God of War is an example like that. And I think we're going to talk about that later. But right now, we need an actual fan. Russell T Davies, I don't think was ever that big of a fan. Even when he was doing his initial run, he talked about how he wanted to separate himself from Classic Who, that some of the stuff he found was cheesy. There are some concerning interviews even during that era about his opinion on Classic Who. So I think we need someone who is extremely talented, who's not afraid to ruffle some feathers and loves this show like no one else. And I don't know if a person like that exists right now. I mean, I'd love to say that I could fulfill that role, but I'm not British, and I don't know if I could bring that particular British charm or the talent. I'm not saying that I'm that talented, but I mean, like a fan like myself, I don't know if, we could do something like that. We're looking for a unicorn. A unicorn can give Doctor Who fans a maybe we'll watch it again, but it'll be 10, 20 years down the road.
There are two examples to this conversation. One is a fan-based one, and one is a showrunner-based one. The closest thing we had to somebody saying we reject was the fan reaction to Rings of Power, where they said, no, we ought, even though you may, excuse me, own the rights to do what you've done, we the fans say, no, it's not Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. The other thing, though, an example of somebody who has knowledge, Picard season 3, Terry Matalas. That's somebody who came in and, with the restraints he had on, managed to make the closest thing to real Star Trek we had in a decade or more. And he had to work with the stuff that the previous Kurtzman trick had set up, but he still managed to say, in a way, saying, listen, this is in here, but through my writing and through the way this is working, I'm showing you I don't like what they did, and I'm trying to diminish it as much as possible. So there are people who are brave enough out there. Now, also, Terry Matalas was an example of nobody was there watching him, because Kurtzman and his cronies had gone off to do other shit. They just left the remains of Star Trek in a shed, in a wheelbarrow or bucket, and Terry Matalas had to put it back together to make it something that could be called Star Trek, and he did a fantastic job. It was a lot of fun. But in the end, there are people like that. But in his case, he's left alone. But we're talking about somebody who isn't left alone, somebody who's given the full power and control over the show. And at this point, considering you and I have no knowledge of who or what exists out there in terms of who's a showrunner, good writer, that I don't believe anybody's that brave yet. I don't think that bravery exists right now. It'll take several major collapses, I think, of the franchises that we cover a lot before it happens. Like, we're going to watch in the coming year now, we're going to watch massive collapse of the MCU. It's coming. We've been talking about it. It is coming. It is here. It's arriving. We've already seen it part this year. It's going to happen over and over again, 2 more times, 3 more times to count the TV shows. Excuse me. Oh, wow.
You were hanging out with Beardo this weekend.
Yeah, that's delayed from days ago, I guess. I don't know. I'm still sick. Leave me alone. We're watching the collapse of Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is in free fall, and there's nothing to do about it. So we need to see movements that observe these massive franchises in complete failure. And then when these corporations either sell it or give it up or kind of push it aside and don't care anymore, and either have somebody a new owner or a new custodian take over, or completely cut the bait. I have my words. I swear to God. Whatever. I'm pulling the plug on that metaphor. Bravery doesn't exist right now. It's going to take big events to make people get brave enough and realize that if you talk to the fan, if you talk to the passionate fan who is true to the lifeblood of everything, people who buy the merch, buy the DVDs, the Blu-rays over and over again, if you are going to connect to them, they will come through for you, because that's where the power is, not the mythical modern audience. And that kind of takes us to the next point here I want to go to. One of the things that we found out happened during the week, our week away, is that Jennifer Salke got fired. And it wasn't she left. No, she was fired from Amazon. She was fired, full on fired, because let's look at her victories, shall we? Yes, Reacher, terminal
list.
Thank you. I am all here. Terminal list and a couple other things. Those are successes, but that's the stuff she was hands off with, that she just left in the hands of the showrunners. And those are all low budget stuff. They're basically action set pieces, no special effects, all practical effects, all that kind of stuff. So those are her wins that she had nothing to do. But the things that she has had her grubby little fingers all over, like Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, epic failures to the point where Rings of Power doesn't even chart with season 2 by the time it was over. Doesn't even chart on ratings. Wheel of Time, as we've mentioned here and there, if you watched my video earlier in the week that I made and had a late release on, nobody's watching it here. I'll even bring it up right now. I've got them right here. The past several weeks of Samba, nobody is watching Wheel of Time, Waste of Prime. We get back to the proper one here. All right, let me just zoom that up. That's 10.
Well, while you look that up, I do want to say I have a theory for how her firing took place, and I want to see what you think. Right. So, what was the big Amazon Prime news that we got in the last month before Salke? Even the last 2 weeks before she was fired. The other one.
Huh?
The Bond news.
Oh, MG. Oh, yeah, okay, Bond. Yeah, okay.
So the Bond news. And what is Barbara Broccoli, the main producer? Sumu was talking a little bit about it in the chat. But what was her famous quote about Amazon Prime executives? She called them fucking idiots a year or so ago with what they wanted to do with Bond after No Time to Die. And she was stubbornly fighting them on every decision they made. And then suddenly she was given $1 billion and told to fuck off. And she did. She took the deal. Yep. In my opinion, this is pure speculation, not based on any evidence whatsoever. I believe that a subset of that deal, of her accepting the money, was that certain executives involved in these fucking idiot decisions were fired and removed from Amazon. I personally believe Barbara Broccoli leveraged her position of control over Bond to get Salke out of position of managing Bond in the future. And Jeff Bezos said, I want to make Bond. She's been making these terrible shows for me. I see this as a win-win, and fired her ass, dissolved her position. And I think we should thank Barbara Broccoli for the removal of Jennifer Salke.
you know what? It's not a bad thing. That's not a bad theory.
Completely a theory, no evidence whatsoever.
And it's not a bad theory though. It's not a bad theory though. And I need to do one little quick thing. I keep saying this, but I want to check one little thing just to make confirmation on whether or not my thing. Check one thing. Okay, that is not it. Okay, no, doesn't matter. Okay, so I was wrong about something. All right, doesn't matter. All right, so but you bring up a good point. So Salky was fired, but before that, just to show you, Wheel of Time, Waste of Prime. Here is the Samba. Now, Samba is actually a pretty good tracker for the season because it's just going to be talking about the season. And one of their promotional things that they're talking about constantly on X, they're saying it's the #1 show in this country over here in the Netherlands and in over here someplace in Asia and this and that. It's not #1 here in America because here it is. Here's the premiere. The premiere, 3-episode premiere. Not here. Not here. Let's go up. Let's go up or down. There we go. Following week, nobody came around. Just a week ago, still nothing there. Nobody is watching this show, which is why at this point where we are, it has not been renewed for season 4. And if you go back and look in time with the previous 2 seasons, they had been renewed already. So that these are the Sulky crown jewels. Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, shows that don't chart, shows that people don't watch. So Sulky is fired, and it has been confirmed now. Bitch, take your box, clean out your desk, you're gone. Now, she is good buddy with Rafi Poo Judkins, the guy who runs Wheel of Time, Waste of Prime. And he got removed. I covered this a few months ago. We've talked about it. He was removed from showrunning God of War. And put in his place is a true showrunner. I'm having a problem here. I'm sorry. Ronald D. Moore. I'm having a problem here today, guys. You got to bear with me. Brain's functioning at like half of staff speed. Ron D. Moore, writer for Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, for all my kind list out here. The dude has been making TV, most of it good, some of it mediocre to bad, but he's been doing it for 30 years, okay? A real showrunner.
And that's what I think is the most important thing about this, whether or not Outlander was good or whatnot. The idea of a real television executive being involved in these shows, because that's why I think Disney partially has been failing so much with Disney Plus and even platforms like Amazon Prime, is they're not television people. Disney, they're all movie people who don't know how to make television. So they're just making a movie and then padding it with a bunch of nonsense. And then the pacing's all over the place. Like, there are fundamental, just structural issues with a lot of streaming service shows these days because no one knows how to make TV. And so even if I wasn't familiar with the shows that Ronald D. Moore has made, even if I hadn't watched any of them, the fact that he has this much experience in the industry making serialized television makes me a little bit hopeful for this show. Just that evidence in and of itself. Of course, his other comments are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah,
but we need real television people who know how to construct serialized television and stretch it over multiple episodes in a way that feels good, and pacing is fulfilling. Because if you stretch a story over 20 episodes, that can feel draining if you're not talented at that. So I'm just hoping that he at least brings that pacing experience, if nothing else.
And that's the thing. Ron D. Moore, I was excited when I heard that a real showrunner was taking over to God of War, and they had literally scrapped everything that Rafe Judkins had been doing, which included at the time that they were going to start with the Norse saga and not instead of the Greece saga. Problem is, during our time off, there was controversy now surrounding this, where Ron D. Moore in an interview said, I tried to play God of War, and I just couldn't do it. I'm not that kind of a gamer. I play Pong or some shit like that. Listen, that's fine. You don't have to play the games, but at least have somebody walk you through it all. You know, watch some videos, plenty of it. Watch my videos. I played. Well, I didn't play
put in the work in whatever way you can.
Yeah.
That I think that's what we want, because there's never been an implicit you have to be a fan. You have to be talented. I think that is the implicit rule. But you don't have to be a fan to take over these franchises, but you have to put in the work. The grand poobah of examples of this that I always like to point to is Matt Smith. He'd never watched a single episode of Doctor Who when he was cast, but the moment he was cast, he locked himself in a dungeon and did the research and became not an expert on Doctor Who, but far above the average when it came to his knowledge of the franchise. And that's all we're asking, is just put in the effort, talk to fans, have fans around you who can tell you, hey, this is wrong, this isn't what this character would do. And as long as you listen to them, you can still craft something impressive. So this isn't a make or break for me. I'd prefer it if he played it, but as long as he puts in the work in the other areas, it can still work.
The dude's like 20 years older than me at this point. So, I mean, I don't expect him to be a hardcore gamer. But I like to believe he's smart enough to surround himself with people in the know and to give him the knowledge he needs. Now, that was a culture. A lot of people freaked out over this when this news dropped. Oh, my God, it's doomed again. It's going to be terrible. What can we do? I'm with you. This is not a deal breaker for me. But if they do not, now we do not have confirmation right here. Another major controversy stems from the show's narrative focus. According to news outlet Dexerto, the series will jump straight into God of War Ragnarok storyline. That was for the Rafe Judkins stuff.
Wait, they were jumping that far? I didn't realize they were skipping over 2018 entirely. How do you do?
I don't know. I don't know.
How would that have even worked?
I don't. Maybe this is somebody not using the phrase correctly. They're just because Ragnarok is the newest one. So
I'm hoping that was a mistake, because how can you have Ragnarok without at least Baldur's death?
Let's just say the Norse storyline, okay? The Norse.
Okay,
arc.
It's still bad, but
yeah. So in other words, there seems to be little to no ancient Greek elements. While 2018 game was a massive success and introduced Kratos to a new generation of fans, some longtime players have expressed that skipping the Greek origins also means skipping over crucial character development for Kratos. True.
100%.
True. Kratos' journeys from a vengeful Spartan warrior to a grieving, reluctant father is what fans found so compelling about him. But forging his backstory, critics, fans argue that series risks losing emotional depth and defines God of War. Yes, because as Jed and I, in the very recent days, have talked about this at length, it is massively important to have the background of everything that happened in ancient Greece when you're partway through God of War 2018 and Kratos has to pick up the Blades of Chaos again. It is massively important that you understand what that means, that the nightmare memories that he now must connect to again by picking up the Blades of Chaos. If you do not do that in television for a whole new generation, if you do this, it will have no impact whatsoever. We'll be the only ones going, oh, yeah, but we'll still be like, man, I wish I could have seen him actually using them in that storyline. So now right here, this is not saying... This is news right here about this. This is connected to the Rafe Judkins part. There's been no news from Ron D. Moore about where it's starting. And I'm going to have a little bit of faith. If Dre was here, he'd point at me and say, no, no, Adam, you're not allowed to. But he's not here. He's not here, so I can. I'm going to have a little bit of faith and think that Ron D. Moore is not a stupid man, and that he is listening to people more in the know of God of War lore and mythos, and will say, listen, you cannot skip the Greek trilogy. You must do that story in some way, shape, or form. You've got to. Otherwise, our starting viewership will tank, because you're going to lose the original fans. They're going to be wary. They're going to wait for people like me to review it and tell him what's going on. I don't think he's that stupid. I think and also, if he wants to have this go for a while, you can get more seasons out of this if you start with the original. Now, I'm not saying go back to his origins. I say start at the Battle of Athens. That's what I say. I say start at game 1 and tell the story from there and cover the side quest games in flashbacks and shit like that. No, that's what I say. But start at the Battle of Athens, where he fights Ares, and then go from there. Jed, that would be the smart play.
Oh, I 100% agree from both a character development standpoint and from just a television standpoint. All these shows want to renew for multiple seasons. I mean, Rings of Power jumped in with saying, hey, we're doing 5 seasons.
Yeah.
You want as many seasons as possible. That's just common sense. You make more money the more seasons that there are. So why would you eliminate the majority, I'd say, of the source material, at least in, amount of entries, to start with the last 2? You could get 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons out of the last 2 Norse games, but that's it. If you do the entire franchise, you can at least
6.
At least do 6. You could probably eke out 7 if you did like Chains of Olympus and the other spin-off games. I wouldn't want them to do that, but there's still so much potential, and maybe even have a season in between showing how he got from Greece to the Norway. A special.
I'd like
a special would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's so much potential, but you have to start with the Greek. Otherwise, you don't have the source material to keep the show alive for more than a couple of years. I mean, shows these days take 2 or 3 years off between seasons, so 2-3 seasons would still take a decade. But
dude, I just shot the opening scene for the series in my head right now, and it's a nightmarish flashback of him murdering unknowingly his family, and then waking up on his ship the day he's arriving in Athens for the Battle of Athens. That's how you start it right there. There's your opening. You watch the tragedy and then get pulled right into the action, and boom, there we go. Then we're ready. And I think you get a season out of the first game. I think you easily get a season out of game 2. And you get a shorter season out of the third game because that's a really quick one. Wasn't a long one. Third game was a very short game. And I think you can get 3 to 4 between 2018 and Ragnarok. So you're looking, like you said, 6 to 7 seasons. It's there. And then if they are going to take Kratos to ancient Egypt, oh wow, wouldn't it be cool if they're finally going to put a game out and, oh wow, here's your TV show, and now here's the game where we're going to ancient Egypt, and he's going to kill Ra and his ilk. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be brilliant? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to hold out faith because right around here, we peddle in objectivity. We try not to let our emotions rule the day. We're going to see how this plays out, but it is very important that Jennifer Salke is no longer in charge in any way, shape, or form, and that her favorites like Rafe Judkins were taken off this show, which means Wheel of Time's probably in danger too. All right. So, hey, everybody in the chat. If you are first joining us, we're happy to have you guys here with us. We thank you for coming back around after a week off. We're glad you're still here with us. So hit that like button, and let's get into one of our main topics now. It's our Sunday privilege, Jed. Our Sunday privilege to talk box office. Now, last week, since we were off, we didn't get to see the drop-off for Snow White. But we do get to see the utter failure of week 3. Look at that, dude. 77 million domestic, 75 million worldwide.
I have to say I was wrong. I thought this movie would do better.
And I was right.
You were very right. It's not hitting 200. There's no way.
Originally I said 150 to 200, and you guys bullied me off it. So I had to alter my take, but then I reinstated it 2 weeks ago. 150 to 200. I am a genius. Bask in my brilliance. But let's take a look at the
few minutes
numbers.
at least till we talk about the next movie.
Give me my moment. Okay. All right. So it made only. So the drop-off was 66%. It wasn't even a 57% drop-off. It was a 66% drop-off last weekend. That's bad.
Look how many theaters it's lost now, too.
Look at that. Yeah, that's incredible. And then only made $6 million this week. Look at this week.
600,000 on what is that, Thursday?
On Thursday.
My God.
Yeah. And look per theater. Look at these per theater numbers. That's sad, man.
$164 per theater. That's like 10, 15 people went to go see the movie in a day per theater.
And you got to wonder,
really bad.
Who are these people? 3 weeks in with all the all the tumultuous content discussions surrounding this movie. Who are you going to see this movie from here to here? I mean, what is it? Some sort of kids group, maybe taking a bunch of kids to torture them with this horrible movie? But this is a disaster beyond belief that just about nobody really saw coming, but I did. So we just had to touch on it. Complete and total failure. And just for comparison, here's Captain Marvel. I mean, The Marvels.
The Marvels. And this was considered one of the most abysmal failures of all time, and it's been dethroned, a year and a half later?
Hold both my beers, says Rachel Zegler. Hold both my beers, because this thing doesn't get much more. I don't even think it breaks 160 at this point.
I'm surprised we don't have a Disney Plus release date announcement yet.
Remember, 2 weeks ago, Dre said it would be a month from when he said it. It would be so. I think he said like next week. I believe he said it'll be announced for Disney Plus. So Dre made her see. I'll dig it up from the stream, but Dre made a prediction of when it will be on Disney Plus, and I think he said next week. I think that's what he said. So we'll come back next week and we'll find that one out. But here it is, Snow White, the disaster we always said it would be. So we're done. Now, unfortunately, Rachel Zegler never had her meltdown, did she?
Nope. Disney kept her locked away in the vault with Disney severed heads, so worked out well.
Yeah. But apparently during our week off, the shills still were protecting her in all ways, shapes, and forms. It wasn't her fault. I believe they threw out the review bombing excuse again over and over and over. Listen, there's no defending this complete crap movie. It's done. It's bad. Even without her controversies, it still is a bad movie, as we've said. And now I'll be glad not to talk about it ever again. Don't have to. It's now a footnote in the Disney disasters. But all that said, done. I could take my victory lap on this one, and I will for at least a little bit longer. It looks like I'm going to notch an L in my movie predictions for the year, at least at this very moment. Now, let's talk about Minecraft movie. I'm going to reload it again. Let's see if we got the international. No international yet. But so we'll talk about the Room International. But Jed, when we all saw those first trailers, we made fun of it. We roasted it. Jack Fat Black. I mean, he's in everything. He's annoying. It's like he just rolled out of bed with his same gray beard he had on when he was in Mandalorian season 3. I mean, he wasn't even trying. And here we are. 157 million domestic opening weekend on a budget of 150, probably closer to 250 with marketing. Its box office made all the money this weekend. And you saw it.
I did.
Tell us what you think.
I cannot express how bad this movie was. The trailers do not give it justice. It is a million times worse than the trailers portrayed it to be. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen. And there were random musical numbers that really killed me. Partway through the movie, we got to the village with the villagers and whatnot, and then suddenly Jack Black just does a extended jingle song about how good putting lava on chicken is and how good it tastes. And it was a whole musical number. I can't translate to the audience here how bad the Minecraft movie is. It is cringe. It is dumb. The CGI looks terrible. Jason Momoa's character is an attack on all things masculine. It is one of the gayest things I've ever seen. There's even a point where Jack Black mounts Jason Momoa, pulls his hair, and Jason Momoa makes sex faces.
No.
Yes. I mean, he's flying, but still, it looks like he's going to town on Jason Momoa's booty hole.
Now, with your take on this, and you can regale us more going forward, and other, we'll just say adult takes on this. People with a brain who aren't either social media brain dead or children.
TikTok needs to be destroyed, annihilated. That's the reason this movie exists. All the jokes are for TikTok.
People who have taste hated this movie. But you described to me what it was like with the people in your theater watching this.
There were about 15 other people in the theater, so not massively full, but more than there was for Snow White. And they absolutely loved it. Laughed at all the jokes, stood up and cheered at the end, clapping. Nowhere near the clips you've seen, but the clips online are absolutely insane. Some of these people are reacting bigger than Cap picking up Mjolnir in Endgame.
Now, shit like that, and people go, yeah!
And the chicken jockey, that was in the trailer. All this stuff that people were reacting to were in the fucking trailers. Why are you acting like this is a big moment? The Cap picking up Mjolnir was such a big moment because they kept it secret. I don't get why these brain-rotted morons saw this in the trailer. It's like, oh, there's a zombie kid on a chicken. That's funny. Then go to the theater. Oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever. I don't fear for the state of humanity. Humanity doesn't deserve to continue after the response to this movie. There is no saving it. I am praying for an asteroid minute by minute. The dinosaurs got it easy compared to what I think we deserve at this point because of the reaction to this movie. It is one of the stupidest, brain-rotted movies I've ever seen. Apparently, being able to put 3 pieces of diamond on a board, hitting it with a hammer, and being, ooh, it made what I want, makes it so a 10-year-old boy can make a fully functioning jetpack in the real world. He learned the skills of crafting, so now he's the best scientist inventor in history back in the real world.
What?
And, for some reason, the black fat chick, she has a bunch of exotic animals in her car everywhere, like an alpaca's in the back seat, and she has to keep carrots so it won't bite her ear off. Means that she can train wolves in the Minecraft world so well and understand them. And yeah, the wolves come into the real world and no one gives a shit. It's like, boxy looking wolves. And the villain. Guess what makes the villain a bad guy?
No penis?
No, she doesn't have a penis, but
okay, it's a girl. Okay.
Murder hell pigs have a version of American Idol, and she was laughed at for not being very good at it, so she decided to destroy all creativity in pig hell and spread that death of creativity to the overworld, is what they call the Minecraft world. So she failed at American Idol, so now she wants to get rid of all creativity.
Wait, they actually reference her failing in American Idol?
They flash back to it. I can't remember what the pun is, but there's some pun about the name American Idol, like a piggy idol or something like that, and she's singing on stage and they laugh at her. Yeah.
All right.
But it's in hell, a piggy hell. Piggy hell. Right. Piggy hell demon failed at American Idol and decided to block out the sun so her piggy hell army can invade the Minecraft overworld, is what they call it, and prevent people from building or crafting or mining or anything, because that makes her feel bad for being untalented. But she's very talented at magic for some reason.
All right, so taking everything in that I have gathered from this, and remember, this is like essentially a 24-hour period now that I've had time to digest this stuff. This movie should not be a success.
No,
it shouldn't be, but it is. And at 157, and I believe the rumors are it's going the overall worldwide is anywhere between 250 and 300. I believe that's what the worldwide opening gross is going to be.
300 million's the average reported, and this number is double the projections.
Yeah, that's the thing. They kept raising up on its 150 million budget, which let's say it's 200. To be, because they always underreport. Let's put a little marketing in there. This thing needs about 500, 450, 500 to break even.
I think that's fair.
It'll probably get that next weekend.
Probably.
And I predicted before I did my bid predictions, and I predicted on my bid movie year prediction video, I said this thing was going to be a flop. I said, but it's not going to be. It's going to make some money.
It might be the biggest movie of the year at this point. There's discussions about that. It might be $1 billion movie. Legitimate discussions are being had about that.
There are that. I saw people say, "Oh, it's going to be $2 billion."
No, it's not. It might cross $1 billion.
It's going to listen. If it's true that the kids like it, and here's the thing too. Leading up to it, people that we know, people that I hang out with who have kids, said their kids were not excited for this movie. They didn't care about this movie. But if kids are going to go see it and like it, they'll go see it again. and that's what's going to get it to 1 billion, because that's how you get to 1 billion repeat watches. But on the lead up, the build of this, I had no ability. I had no ability whatsoever. Not ability, excuse me, wrong word. I had no evidence whatsoever to tell me that this was going to be a mega hit. I mean, did you see any evidence whatsoever that this was going to be some sort of mega hit with this,
God,
like
no.
the lukewarm reaction and the mocking that it received? So, I mean, I guess it's the advantage of a slow weekend. Because think about it. There's no competition right now, is there?
Yeah, Snow White's not competing, and Working Man only beat Snow White because of how bad it is.
Yeah, so this, I'm going to wager that this was a very strategic drop at this moment where there was no competition, which is why it has seen the massive amount of success it has gotten. Now, do you think it has? Do you honestly think it has the legs for 1 billion?
I don't know. I didn't think it had any any start was possible. I cannot predict anything in this movie. I'd like to say the word of mouth will spread like wildfire, and the adults in the room will go, "Hey, this is an abomination that deserves to be burned, and everyone who ever worked on it deserves to be homeless for all of eternity." And that's the lenient punishment for working on this movie. I'd like to say those discussions would be had, but with the fan reactions that I've seen, the people on Twitter just in the videos of theater reactions losing their minds for it. Apparently, TikTok's going crazy over it. I really can't say. I think those people will rewatch it, but unlike when Disney Star Wars stans rewatch Acolyte over and over again, going to the theater and buying tickets every time actually makes a difference versus watching, a video over and over again on Disney Plus. So I'd hope for a 70% drop next week or higher, but I can't legitimately predict anything on this because I was so abysmally wrong with how I thought this opening would be.
And I hate it when I'm wrong. I hate it when you're wrong because you and I generally have the same perspective on these things. We're able to suss out how something's going to do. So if my guess, this thing probably only has like maybe a 55% drop, I think, with the positivity.
It did start really big, so I think 50, low 50s would be a reasonable projection.
And there's nothing but positivity around this. I mean, adults like us are like, but brain rot are going, yay!
And the people who are going to come out at us and say, oh, it's a kid's movie, it doesn't have to be good, I will never accept that perspective because kids deserve good movies too. There's the argument to be made that they actually deserve better, they deserve good movies more than adults do. But the greatest kids movies of all times are ones that appeal to the whole family and can be seen as very well written. Early Pixar movies, we've never reviewed one of those, but I feel like if we did, we'd rate them very high because they're written well. They're good stories. Even classic Disney films were that way. Kids deserve good entertainment. So being for kids is not an excuse to be one of the worst pieces of shit ever shat out into the mouths of consumers.
And to my point, to your point earlier, the question, will it be somebody saying it might be the biggest hit of the summer? No, I'm reserving that for Lilo and Stitch. I think that's going to be the juggernaut of the summer. That's going to be the.
But what about Thunderbolts?
Disney's win. No one's going to care about Thunderbolts. You know that. All right, so we'll go ahead. No, what?
You want to check the back room?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me just finish with saying. So this is gonna be an anomaly. I don't know, but I looks like I'm gonna take the L, and I have to say that. Okay, there we go. Hello, welcome back. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's that. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I guess I'm not put on this earth to understand everything.
I think it's got very mixed reviews from what I've been seeing and hearing. Some people like it, some people are like meh about Minecraft.
Well, if the kids are gonna like it, that's what's gonna move it along in the end. That's really what's gonna move it. If the kids are really liking it, and they
I hate to be on the side of the critics. The critics gave it a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience gave it an 87%. I hate to be on this side of things, but for once the critics are right, and they're still lowballing it. This should be the worst rated film on Rotten Tomatoes, in my opinion. Like, I would rather watch Snow White, and I know I said that about Mickey 17 a couple weeks ago, but I've never walked out of the theater voluntarily once in my life. There were 3 or 4 separate occasions that I moved forward in my seat and started collecting my stuff to get up. But then I realized I've got to talk about this. I've got to talk about this. If I weren't a YouTuber, I never would have gone to it in the first place, but I would have walked.
There's a lot of things we wouldn't do if we weren't YouTubers.
Oh, you guys, I haven't even told you.
Oh,
you go ahead.
So the only film I remember ever very closely walking out of was the third Iron Man film. The moment the Mandalorian revealed himself, I nearly walked out of the theater. I was like, hang on a minute, my dad's my drive home. Darn it, I have to sit through an extra hour of this nonsense.
I haven't even told you guys. So the MacGuffin of the movie is the Tesseract from the first Avengers movie, but they call it an orb because isn't it funny, in a world of blocks, a cube could be called an orb, and they do that joke 7 million times, and that's the MacGuffin. But whatever. And it opens a portal between the real world and the Minecraft world. And when the main characters like Jason Momoa and all of them come through the portal into Minecraft, one of the villagers, you know, the square people with the big noses, he goes into the real world, and he gets hit by a car of the vice principal of the kid's school. And there's an entire side plot of the movie that never reconnects with the main storyline. Is just about them falling in love. It just randomly cuts away to them at dinner, and he's going, oh, you are the greatest listener I've ever seen. Have I told you how turned on I am of your nose? And it's just randomly
I thought this was a kids movie.
It is randomly cutting back to them on these romantic scenes. And one of the last scenes is apparently within hours. This scene takes place, you know, in the same day as the rest of the movie. She learns the villagers' language, and suddenly he's got the voice of a very refined gentleman saying, "My lady is a strong and beautiful woman." And that's what she's hearing. Obviously, he's still going, "Yum, yum, 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 yum." And the actress actually came out and said, there's never been a sex scene that I've had, she said sex scene for some reason, that I've had where I've had more chemistry and been more turned on than the scenes I had with the villager. And it never connected. He never got back to the Minecraft world. It never went anywhere. It was just this random 20 minutes of screen time of them intercut into the main film, going on dates. It felt like 72 hours, but I can check the actual runtime. It was probably close to 2. But yeah, that was at least 20 minutes of runtime. It is 140. An hour and 40 minutes. It wasn't even 2 hours. So yeah, if you cut out that romance arc, this movie would have been an hour and 20 minutes. It wouldn't have been even an hour and a half. It was weird. Like, she hit him, and yeah, they can't use their arms. So he's just looking like he's in a straitjacket all the time. They go out to a romantic dinner. They drink wine together, and I don't understand why that was in the movie. It served no purpose. We never even saw him interact with the.
We've hit that point. Filler in a movie.
That's a lot. There's a lot of filler in the movie too, but
yeah.
The kids at the beginning of the movie. There's the main kid who builds the jetpack at the end. His older sister's taking care of him because his mom's dead, and the dad's never even mentioned. And when they move to this new school, and he's getting bullied for. He gets an art assignment to draw these pieces of fruit as they're shown. He's specifically told, draw them as they're shown. And he draws the banana wearing a jetpack, and the teacher's like, you didn't follow instructions. You're not getting a good grade on this. And he's like, why am I being bullied for being so creative? And then he starts being bullied by his classmates. So he decides, I'm going to show them. I'm going to build a real jetpack. And then in chemistry class, which has the same teacher as art class for some reason, he builds a jetpack, and it will work. He sets it up with a dummy, but the bullies are like, oh my god, this jetpack's actually going to work. So they sabotage it when he's not looking, and it launches. And where his sister's working is right next door at the potato plant, because it's in Idaho and potatoes, haha, funny. It flies up there, hits the giant 100-foot tall potato man on top of the factory, and it rolls down and like crushes half the factory, and she gets fired. Because he built a jetpack in chemistry class in 30 minutes that blew up a giant potato mascot statue.
This feels like people trying to replicate 80s comedy without the humor or the soul. That's what it feels like. Anyway, well, we'll see how this does. But you're right. If this movie ends up being a massive success, maybe we are doomed. Is there room for a sequel?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, so Listen, if we get a crazy second weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear sequel within the next week or so.
Yep, the portal still exists. They're all in the real world at the end of the movie. Even Jack Black comes after being in the Minecraft world for like a decade or something, voluntarily in the Minecraft world. Because he grew up and wanted to mine, but no kids allowed in the mine. So when he grew up, he mined and immediately found the Tesseract in the mine.
Just stop. Just stop.
But yeah, they can go back whenever they want. But they all decided to work on a video game together. They make an arcade game and it sells and makes them rich based on them fighting people in Minecraft.
So they made Minecraft.
No, they made a Street Fighter in Minecraft. So it's them as Minecraft characters in a Street Fighter arcade game.
I hate everything about this that I hear. I just hate everything about it, and
I'm not doing a good enough job showing you how bad it is. It is worse than I'm saying.
I should be right, but I'm going to be wrong. We'll leave it at that. I should be wrong. A couple things I saw in the chat real quick. Yes, Jay Frazier, I did hear about Gina's case being delayed. That is unfortunate, but this is legal shit. It's going to happen.
It takes forever, yeah.
Take forever, and even though Gina has Elon's army of lawyers, Disney also has an army of lawyers too. So it's very unfortunate, and that does suck. I don't even know what that is, Ariel.
Yes. I believe that's the rom-com about Frosty the Snowman turning into a roided out, abbed sex machine. And it's just a quirky thing about him being an idiot, fall in love with the girl Hallmark style. So it's a Hallmark movie with sexy Frosty the Snowman.
Okay, moving on. So we got the Tron.
Is that not it?
No.
I might be wrong. There is a movie about that. I don't know what it's called, though.
Well, everybody seems to like the Tron Ares trailer, though. Have you guys watched this yet?
I haven't.
I have not either. Okay. Fresh take. Here we go. Let me check the audio. It's a little loud there. It's up there. All right. All right. Before we get started, though, I love classic Tron. The original Tron movie is fantastic. It's a great movie. I could give two shits about Tron Legacy. Garbage. Head to toe garbage. This, based upon everybody's hopeful reaction, I could get another L. I said this was going to do shit on my prediction list this year, but it's being received positively. So let's take a look, shall we? All right, starring Jared Leto. We love Jared Leto. Said nobody ever.
120 miles per hour, last feed heading northbound. Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
I guess we're in the real world now. I guess the end of Legacy, they opened the door for real world passage.
Is that how that movie ended? I can't remember the life of me.
I mean, the psychotic chick who played the psychotic chick, because I hate that actress so much. She ended up in the
Olivia Wilde.
Well, yeah, she's a nutcase beyond nutcases. She ended up in the real world. This is clearly the real world. So now you got Tron cycles in the real world.
Is Tron actually in this movie? Because Legacy killed him, right?
I believe
he died in Legacy without showing his fucking face or saying anything.
They did have the VA. I mean, didn't they bring in Bruce Boxleitner to VA him again?
Did they?
I think they did.
I'm looking for something.
Yeah, I'm looking for my childhood not to be destroyed. That's what I'm looking for. But every turn
they shouldn't come to the real world. They really shouldn't.
See, that's the mistake of a lot of things. Don't bring fantastical stuff into the real world, modern day shit. Don't do that.
Like the Smurf movie. That thing looks like abomination on untold levels.
Different discussion. That we're not going there. But I know what you're talking about.
Something I do not understand.
Diversity, and I guess here comes a giant mech.
Godzilla.
Was that Gillian Anderson?
I don't know who's in this movie besides Jared Leto.
That's Gillian Anderson. Okay. Oh, come. This doesn't excite me because these things are digital mechs, lack of a better term, and they're programs, they're data. I don't like this concept of bringing in the real. I am instantly turned off right now.
They shouldn't be able to exist in the real world. Just from a
Yeah.
logical standpoint, they're incompatible worlds.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just pausing it. I'm not sure about that music. Is that real music or is that just pneumatic music? I don't know.
I can't tell.
I'm just.
It's super generic and uninteresting.
I'm just hitting it in case somebody starts singing so I can fight it.
Ready?
I guess that's Jared Leto right there.
Is that Tron getting resurrected?
I don't know.
Because there's no going back.
Why is he now? Is Jared Leto a program?
I don't know.
I don't know. Why does he look like Morbius?
I think there's a really good reason for that.
You know what I mean? Why? It's like, why do you look exactly like you did in Morbius?
It's better than the Joker. Wait, people said they liked that trailer? That was a non-entity. I got nothing from it.
It's a teaser trailer.
No, it says official trailer up there.
I know, but it is a teaser.
It is.
It's minute 27 seconds. It's 30 seconds. It's a teaser. It with featuring original music by 9 Inch Nails. Yay! No.
So fucking what?
No. Here's the thing. I look at this and I don't feel a damn thing. I feel nothing when I see this.
It doesn't even look like real Tron.
Tron was unique back in the day. A man who, Flynn, who gets sucked into this digital world, where a world that considers him a god, but it's being taken over by another attack program, stuff like that. And his program, his security program, Tron, is the only thing fighting back. And he's able to do godlike stuff because he is a creator, a programmer. But it's about what is a soul, what's human, what isn't, all that kind of cool stuff that goes into old school storytelling. All I see this right here. Look, flying mechs. Look, laser bikes. Look,
Member berries.
The real world. Member berries. There's nothing but jangly keys here. Now, it's a teaser trailer. A lot of people have said, I'm interested to see this. Let's see where it goes. And that's what a teaser trailer is supposed to do. But I don't want this. I don't want it. I could say that it's clearly not made for me. And I just don't see how. I don't see what kind of story they're possibly going to tell here. Not really. I mean, even based upon the last movie, which granted I've only seen half of, the back half, never saw the first part of it, but it's
so you missed the only good part of that movie, the bike fight.
Sure. Okay. But there's nothing classic, there's nothing genuine about this. This feels like cheap thrill grab without actual thrill. I don't see this. I don't see this at all. So, any thoughts on this? Because this to me, this was like a non-starter for me.
Yeah, there's nothing in this trailer to show you what the movie's about. Tron stuff in real life, programs in real life. What else is there? I can't form an opinion on this because there's nothing provided. Besides, it being in the real world is a problem. That's the only thing I can take away from this trailer.
All right. Bye, Tron Ares. We'll see we'll see you in October, I guess. All right. Before we keep going, though, Samuel for $10. Congrats on your nuptials, Jed. For your next challenge, get Adam to drink from a hose like everyone else his age did as a child. Yeah, the hose thing did come up during the wedding.
It did. I do have a hose attached to my house. I thought about trying to make him try it, but he was already sick by that point. So,
yeah.
You probably wouldn't have been sick if you'd been raised on a hose and built up your immune system.
There's no evidence to support that whatsoever. None at all. All right. None at all. The Naked Gun. Oh God, the Naked Gun trailer. You say it's good, Jay Fraser. Thank you, Sam, for $10. See you tomorrow night, man. I don't want to risk watching it because I don't know. I know we could watch Tron because we know Disney's not going to hit us, but I don't want to do that on the stream because I don't want the stream to get hit. Maybe I'll take a look at it, and maybe we'll do it tomorrow night after I've taken a look at it. Maybe if I could see it's anything. We'll talk about. You know what? We'll do Naked Gun tomorrow night. That's more of a Mellow Mondays thing, I think. But I don't have. I love Liam Neeson, but comedy. Liam Neeson, that just wouldn't work.
He's not Leslie Nelson or whatever.
I was a bit confused by that as well. Thinking, hang on a minute, has he done comedy?
Nope. Yeah, he's done cameos in comedy, like A Million Ways to Die in the West. I haven't seen, but that was a comedy movie. His cameo in Ted 2 was fantastic. I love that.
I've seen that. I've seen clips of that.
That's hilarious.
Hail Dom H. Hail Dom H. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That's a Mellow Monday thing. We'll go over that. If not watch it, I'll watch it ahead of time and we'll talk about it. We'll bring it up. But we do have a couple other things to talk about. We got a half an hour left, and I got plenty of things here. So let's talk upcoming movies that we did mention. We mentioned it before earlier. So that's not it. No, hang on, that's not it. I wanted. Wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. Superman. So, Jed, have you seen the footage?
It played before the Minecraft movie.
Okay.
At least the part where the robots can the extended scene with Crypto and.
So the thing I saw is it's the extended of him having suffered a massive beatdown, and Crypto shows up and
beats his ass.
Yes, that was really retarded. Okay, so all right, so hear me lay it out for people. We can't play it because that will definitely get us hit. I'm gonna lay it out for you who haven't seen it. So what happens? It's the trailer where he lands after getting beat up somewhere. He's coughing up blood, and he whistles for Crypto. But instead of the trailer where Crypto instantly pulls him along, Crypto wants to play. So this is clearly not smart Crypto. This is retarded dog Crypto, who sees his master doesn't care that his master's in. Don't give me that, Dragon Lady. No.
Dogs are smart.
I don't hear doggy. I don't want to hear that shit. All right? No, don't turn the girl off for a second. This is serious. The man has beat all the shit, and the dog who has super Kryptonian powers is headbutting him and pushing him around on the ground like a fucking retard.
And dogs, real dogs, not CGI abominations, are smart. They can tell when you're hurt and you're not feeling well. A real dog would have been cautious, maybe scared, but just approach the situation slowly because he can feel the emotions of Superman or his current condition. A real dog isn't gonna go right into headbutting. That's a Downsy dog. That's a Downsy dog.
Yes. So Downsy Crypto, we're going to call him Downsy Crypto. Downsy Crypto, after beating up Superman a little bit more, gets a clue and starts to drag him along. And then this is where, once again, now I'm going, no, what are you doing? The Fortress of Solitude apparently rises and can sink underneath the glaciers. No,
I like the design of it, at least from what I saw, but it rising and sinking is just weird.
Yeah. So it rises out of the ground. He pulls him there, and instead of having Superman's single usual android that helps him out, it's a bunch of supposedly emotionless, numbered Kryptonian droids. And of course, the new one, number 12, is a female. And while they're carrying him like a pathetic baby, this is what I don't like the whole thing. He is a pathetic little manlet through this whole thing. I need to be pulled by my dog. I'm coughing. I'm broken. In all the times I've seen Superman get the ever-loving shit beat out of him in animation, live action, and comics, Superman picks himself up and can walk himself someplace. Doesn't need his doggy to pull him someplace. And doesn't need robots to carry him. And then have one of the robots, which is now a female, going, oh my God, he looked at me.
See, initially when the first trailer came out and we saw that Superman was injured, in context of the movie, I don't have a problem with Superman getting beat down. But like what you're saying, he has to pick himself up. My bigger problem is this is what they're choosing to market the film off of.
Yeah.
There's only one shot of Superman that I think universally everyone likes, is the shot where he runs in and protects that little girl from that explosion. Like that one, I think everyone likes. That's what we should be seeing in Superman marketing, especially starting a new franchise. And it's a risky movie. They're building a new universe off of this. They need to inspire hope. So it needs to be more shots like that from just a marketing standpoint. Like the fact that he gets beat up in the movie can work in context. Absolutely. Don't have a problem with that. But that every single trailer so far and clip has started, Superman's a bit shit, ain't he?
Yep.
This is terrible marketing.
It's bad.
This makes me not want to watch the movie, even if in context him getting beat up can make sense. I don't care. And then now we're seeing more of the context and it just gets dumber.
Yeah, and you mentioned that with the whole the context of this clip, it's what we are afraid it was going to be. James Gunn quippiness. The android goes, we are without emotions, as you know, but here's the new one, number 12. And her first thing, oh, I'm a girl and I have emotions. He forced humor in what clearly should be a serious situation where he just got his ass kicked. So then they strap him to a table so they can do focused solar energy on him to heal him. And here's what I don't get. They do a bunch of focusing lenses, and when the solar energy hits him, he's in pain. Ah!
I've heard people explain that because his bones are snapping back into place, and that's what's painful is the healing itself, not the sun itself.
I'm sorry. That's headcanon bullshit. And I don't play headcanon bullshit when I'm watching a trailer that doesn't make any sense. If you have to use headcanon bullshit to answer stupid questions, then this thing's failing.
Oh my! If Jay Fraser is right, this is going to be a problem. He's saying this is how the movie opens. If that's true, oh my God.
Well, you mentioned that. They show this scene, and then when it's all done, they just show the same goddamn trailer again.
And it was such an awkward fade out after everything that was going on. He starts screaming, then a close up, and then fade away. It was so awkward. So, the marketing campaign for this film is abysmal, in my opinion.
So it is now April. We are a week into April. So I'll keep it as the month. April, May, June, July. We are 3.5 months because this comes out, I believe, on the 15th or something like that because we did the math. It goes Jurassic World, or then it goes Superman, then Baby Steps. We are 3.5 months away from this shit. I have seen nothing to remotely engender faith in this movie. Nothing at all. And if we go by what Chris Gore was talking about, I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Chris Gore was on his stream talking about it to a few people on the panel that earlier in the week, a select bunch of shills, I'm going to call them what they fucking are, a select bunch of shills, not knowing they were going to go see Superman, went and saw it and loved it because they were selected to love it. When this has been shown to people who are not shills, the rumors are it's a disaster. I think this movie is going to be a massive failure at this point. I'm going to go out there and say it.
Which is so disappointing because I'm at that point with you. I was curious when James Gunn was announced for this. I don't want this to be bad. I want a lot of these franchises to clear a lot of the shit, start from scratch, and just try again. I want this to be success, if nothing else, to encourage other studios to take the risk, take the leap, and start over when it's needed. But it doesn't seem like it's gonna be. I want a good Superman movie. The Christopher Reeves ones are fantastic, but I'd love to see one with better CGI and good writing plus incredible visuals. I'd love that perspective. I just don't think we're gonna get it. The moment I saw the costume, I started to get worried, and it's only gotten worse since then.
Look at the costume in that clip. It's this costume. This is the costume, and it looks like shit. It looks
so
like
disappointing.
Dog shit.
I hate the Snyderverse with a passion. I hate all those DCEU movies, with the exception of maybe Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and those are only like I'm okay with them type things. I wanted nothing more for them to be blown away and to start from scratch and have something good. But at this point, I might watch Man of Steel instead, which is big for me because I do not like that movie. I think it's still the best Snyder DC movie, but it's not a good movie.
No. And here's the problem. This movie's going to sink or swim the entire James Gunn DCU. If this thing fails, it's over. There's no saving, there's no protecting, there's nothing. And
Supergirl's not going to make up for any damage, even though it has to come out at this point.
They just finished filming it. It's done. It's in the can. They're working on post now. And I don't think that's going to be any better. I just don't. There is nothing that leads me to believe that James Gunn knows how to make this movie. And we are 3 months out. As you said, the marketing's been a disaster. There should have been a second real trailer by now. I don't care if James Gunn is doing the thing that one should do, hiding most of the movie by not showing us all the big reveals in a trailer, but give us something else. Because the first trailer was dog shit. It was mediocre dog shit. Except for the one scene everybody gets a hard-on for where he protects the little girl.
It's 1 second long. That's all we've got.
The rest of the trailer is mediocre. Just average at best. We need something else. And here we go. You get us this clip. And all it is a Superman that we have no respect for. A Superman we are not eager to root for. I don't like seeing my hero beat up out of the gate. I want to see him doing something heroic, superhuman, one might say. That's what I want. And here we are. This movie is just continuing to disappoint everybody. And I don't like you. I don't want this to be shit. I wanted to be excited for this, but I'm not. With 3 months to go, unless you're a drooling stan, nobody's excited for this. In fact, the criticisms keep mounting. But as we must say, we will give it. I'm sure we're going to get one more real trailer. We have to in the next 2 months. It has to be something else to generate some sort of excitement, some sort of energy. Jed, do you feel any energy for this movie at all out in the social media cosmos?
Not particularly. I know some people who are hesitantly looking forward to it, and that's the best that I've seen on average. Is kind of, we'll wait and see. Maybe it'll be okay. Not a whole lot of people going, "Oh my god, this is going to be great." I've definitely seen more people saying it's going to be terrible. But I am in the sphere where that's the common perspective to begin with. But yeah, the most I've ever seen in person or online is, yeah, maybe it'll be good. We'll see.
Wait, what's Superman Day? What is Superman Day? Like the first release of the comic? Is that it?
I think it's the anniversary of the first Christopher Reeves movie, but I can look.
That's fair. I don't think they're that smart.
The June 12th.
That's cutting it close, man. That's a month away from the release.
Mm-hmm.
That's cutting it awful close. Either way. We will cover this. I'm going to review it. It's one of the only 2 movies I'm going to review for the rest of the year, this and Baby Steps, because this one is so important to the DCU. You're
not going to review Avatar 3?
No, I'm just going to be amazed and hate life that it makes $3 billion. God, this movie. Anyway. What are we doing here? This is crap.
Well said.
This is crap. This is crap. All right, we got. I guess. All right, we got one more real story. One more real story. So while we was busy this week, Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo had its second direct. It's real. Switch 2 Direct. And listen, Jed, you and I, we can both say, and Dragon Lady will differ somewhat on this one. We are not Nintendo drones. We are not Nintendo drones. I have come to understand a Nintendo drone a little better in recent days, weeks, and months. The fact that you love Nintendo because you love their first-party games. They speak to you, and that's why you keep going to it. And if that's what you love, fine. That's great. I don't give a shit about Nintendo first-party games. I haven't for 30 years. Okay? I will dip in to a Nintendo console when the library is expanded to bring in some third-party stuff, mostly RPGs or strategy games that I'm interested in. But Nintendo launches are for people who just want Mario and every other top-tier Nintendo first-party license. So I am not surprised that with the that the Nintendo Direct Switch 2 last week, which I watched, I read about it. I didn't have time to watch it because I was sick in bed. So I did review the stuff later on, though. Nothing that's really jumping out to me. You know, the Mario Kart World thing, that's interesting, but I don't care. I think it's the proper step in the evolution of the franchise. And we were going to watch that review. We were going to watch that video, but other shit has happened since then, which we can actually talk about rather than just reacting to a game that Jed will be forced to play, but I will never have to play.
True.
Yeah, Jed's going to be eventually forced to play that game. Whereas
I mean, they're going to have to buy me a Switch 2 to force me to play it, so.
Yeah. But I am not going to have to watch it or play it because I don't care. But it was fascinating. Open world discovery, logical explanation in the era of open world games. They announced a whole bunch of other things. No super first person Mario game. You know, they didn't do that. That's strange. Some Kirby stuff, a couple of things. A From Software game, which had real hardcore players going, oh yeah, let's kill some shit. And that's cool. That's cool. Game looked interesting. That's cool. But the thing that jumped out at people, the first major story out of this was the fact that Nintendo is now the first one who's going to push a gaming cartridge, console, chip, whatever you want to call it, CD, disc, to $80 to $90 for the base. But the Nintendo drones are going to pay it, aren't they, Jed?
Oh, they're going to pay for whatever they're given. And yeah, they're just as cringe as some consumers of Disney Star Wars, in my opinion. At times, the extreme ones can be. Yeah. But that price tag, I don't know of many games that are worth that price tag. Maybe some big games that you can, be in for 1,000 hours without losing interest and still have new content. But a game like this, where I imagine it'll get repetitive. Most Mario games get pretty repetitive after the first 3 hours. So, unless you're playing with fun people, but I mean, it's the same recycled content after the first few hours. I saw some footage from just a little bit of Mario Kart World, and it looks boring and empty to me. I have no interest in that game whatsoever at this point. Like you said, I'm probably going to be forced to play it, but Jeremy's going to have to buy me a Switch 2 because there's not enough to get me to buy it for myself, regardless of its insane price tag. Until there's a Zelda game on Switch 2 exclusively,
3 to 4 years before you get that.
So it's going to be discounted by then. And this price tag is absolutely insane. Ubisoft is so jealous of them being able to pull this off right now. This is what they've been dreaming of doing for years.
And they're going to pull it off. Like we just. There is no doubt in my mind that every person who is going to eventually pre-order and line up to get their Switch, they are going to get it without a hesitation. Now, Static, I got my Switch at a discount, but I bought it on Amazon.
So did I. I got it on sale as well.
It was on sale. I mean, Nintendo never discounted it, but sellers through Amazon did. So I got like, I think like 50, $60 off mine when I bought it. So I bought it for under 200 or around 200, something like that. But yeah, it's they're going to line up. They're going to line up. And then we know that they're going to have Metroid Prime 4 as a launch title. That's going to line them up. And I'm sure they're going to announce some other stuff that's getting them all hot and heavy. But
I mean, that game looks kind of interesting.
Well, it's a good shoot 'em up game, you know.
Yeah, that looks interesting. If that were on the Switch for a reasonable price, I would probably get it.
It's going to be on the Switch. I think it's going to be both.
Oh, it's cross-platform. Okay.
I think it's cross-platform or cross-generation. I think is a better way.
Cross-generation.
Yeah. But this bothers me for the simple fact that, as you and I have talked about this in the recent past, it's been a pretty static price tag of games, either $60 or $70 for a long time. For years, it was 50, 60. Past decade, they inched it up to 70, which is fine. I've been watching cartridge price creep ever since I was a kid. And the Nintendo cartridge went from 40 to 50, and then 50 to 60. And then finally, and when the advent of discs, 60 to 70. So I've watched it. But I don't like it that we're getting closer to $100 now for a game. I don't like that.
It's going to happen. And when you can get 4 games for the price of your console, you know you've got a problem. Like, you should be able to get a shit ton up for the same amount. Yeah. And the game that shocked me hasn't been announced yet. Kayla Dare mentions it in the chat. The new Animal Crossing game. If they announced a new Animal Crossing and a new good Mario Kart game with the Switch 2 release, I would legitimately believe it could be an immensely selling game, like competing with the Switch 1 competitive selling game or console. And no Animal Crossing? The most popular game with women? Hey, Dan Vest, that game doesn't have a narrative.
Ouch.
So this is troubling me.
I love you, man. I love you, man.
This is a separate discussion though, that, but we have to get away from the discussion of pricing because that's a discussion I want to have, but not now. Other things happen though. So we don't talk real world politics, economy, that kind of stuff here. It'll be referenced. We generally don't though, but events happened economically in the world this week. Tariffs. I'll just say that, you understand. And because of that, Nintendo will delay the pre-order of the Switch 2. I call bullshit. Just for the simple sense that, due to what I've heard on legitimate reporting, deals are already being worked out. Okay, with countries that want to do business. And we have a good economic relationship with Japan. It's not like the tariff thing is aimed at Japan. We have a very good trade relationship with Japan. And also, what about the Japanese population? The tariffs don't bother them. What about there are tens of millions of more people in Japan who are going to buy this at launch than before people do here in America, I think. And not to mention, to me, this feels like a simple tactic of getting people more desperate to buy it. That's what it feels like to me.
I definitely agree that there's something else going on here because, it doesn't make sense. The thing that I more look to is the fact that this pre-order delay was announced 2-3 days after the original pre-order window was announced, and that's too close of a window. It's not like these tariffs were a shock. Yeah. They've been building to this for a while. So why, with that knowledge, make an announcement and then 2 days later undo that announcement? I feel like it's more reactionary. Nintendo's not very good at reacting to fans' response, but not a whole lot of people are happy with the price tags. So I'm wondering if they're just throwing something out there to distract where they have meetings to discuss whether or not they need to change anything. It's just how close that happened. Announced 2 or 3 days later, that date means nothing anymore. That, I think, is the more suspicious thing, is how close those things had happened, with the tariffs already being a thing that we knew were coming to a certain extent. It doesn't make any sense. So I agree with you that it's a bogus story, but the real story behind it is absolutely up for debate.
And Static brings it up right here. The factories are in Vietnam, and the factories are going to send it to Japan first before they probably send it to us. So I don't know.
It matters where it last came from for tariffs. So yes, even though it was made in Japan, in Vietnam, excuse me, even if it is made in Vietnam, it's still going to go to Japan first. So it's Japan's relationship with America that will be the main factor, I believe. Anyway, that's just my assumption that they would ship it to Japan first. They might do it direct though.
All of this is going to be resolved. So all of this is going to be resolved instantly because once again, we don't talk politics here, but in the pattern that happens, President Trump says something, makes a move, people yell and scream. It looks like, oh my God, a disaster, but then things get resolved in short order and we get results. That's kind of the pattern that happens in all this. And we are now in the phase of, oh my God, yet here things are going to get done long before they even worry about the pre-orders. And again, pre-orders are this week, but this... I've never heard such a big deal about pre-ordering a console in my life.
Yeah, they haven't changed the actual release date. If tariffs were actually making a difference, that date is the one that would be the problem, not the pre-orders. The pre-orders are irrelevant. If you were worried about tariffs, you would change the release date.
Yeah, I heard it's 50 countries this morning. I saw it was 50 countries already coming to the table. So, point is, all of this is going to be a moot point within a matter of weeks, and as you just pointed out, long before the release of this. And my also point of the whole pre-order thing, this is all a dog and pony show. It's just a pre-order. The pre-order will be up for if this is releasing in June, the pre-orders will be up for months. What your day one pre-order means shit as far as I'm concerned. That's just a headline they're going to put out there. What matters is the final number of pre-orders when June drops. So this is all kabuki theater. That's what I'm saying. It's kabuki theater. No pun intended, actually. Kabuki theater to drum up a sense of desperation to people saying, oh my God, as soon as I have to pre-order it, I have to hurry up and get it at the price at this or that before it changes. Oh my God. I feel that that's all this is. This is not any sort of actual, as you said, real story. This is all bullshit. Just to get headlines, just to kind of lean into, the economics. Oh my God.
This feels weird coming from Nintendo. Like, this is shit that Sony and Microsoft play. This is shit that more Western developers play. This kind of blaming it on other people, the dog and pony show, the kabuki theater. That is absolutely a Western game developer mentality. And it's weird to see it from Nintendo because Nintendo usually just doesn't give a shit.
They're
very aloof. So this is a strange situation, no matter the explanation for it.
Yeah. So... we had to talk about it. We would have, if this hadn't happened, would have spent time going over the release. But at this point, it's moot. This is a more, I don't want to say interesting story, but it's a more relevant story because of the strangeness of it and all that. And listen, I'm still going to stand by my prediction from a couple months ago. When all is said and done, by the end of its run, this may be the highest selling console of all time. When all is said and done, because of the install base, because of the excitement that people want this so badly. And I think Nintendo knows it. And this is part of their plan to drum up energy for it. Plain and simple. Because they, as it always is, Nintendo's releasing their next-gen console in the off cycle. Because we're years away. We're still like 3, 4, maybe even 5 years away, I think. I have no sources. It's just how I look at it from the next, from PlayStation 6, and if Xbox even wants to play. Xbox might even want to play anymore. But we're not done with the life cycle of PlayStation 5. People in the past 2 years have first gotten their PS5s because of the chip shortage finally ending. So
I'm not even close to getting a PS5. Yeah. I'm still rocking my 4.
I love my 5. I have a lot of fun with it. It has been great. I enjoy the hell out of it. And I am not going to, when a 6 comes out, I will, as always, I'll be 2 years in before I buy it. I will not buy it at launch. I never buy anything at launch. But so let's see what happens. I'm sure today's the 6th. So by 7, 8, 9 by Wednesday, let's see what happens on Wednesday. Okay. We'll see what happens and whether or not this turned out to be bullshit or nothing. We'll see. I use my PS5 all the time for gaming and entertainment. Otherwise, I use it all the time, constantly. Anyway, all right, we did it. We made a show. somehow with some things left over that I'm going to save for Mellow Mondays. So congratulations. We've got topics for tomorrow night. Yay. All right, then. So with that all done, let me check Stream Elements. Okay. Also, from Smoo on Stream Elements. Sorry, Smoo. I didn't see it over there. Thank you for the stream. It's good to see you all. Also, congrats, Jed and Dr. Rachel. Much love to you all. Thank you, Smoo. I hope you're still here. I have to get in the habits of checking Stream Elements, guys. I'm still not in the habit of doing that yet. So thank you, Smoo, for the $10 over there. And we're done. We're done. Jed, you're going on honeymoon.
I am going on a honeymoon, so not a whole lot going on my channel until we get back, and then we're right into Doctor Who Cares reviews and back for Saturday Night Drive-In that week. Don't know what we're watching yet, but I do want to say, Adam, you did a great job pulling this show out of your fucking ass today.
Thank you. I will be completely honest. It was swinging from vine to vine there. I had no idea what we were going to do. It's complete. Essentially, you guys literally got fresh takes, no time for thought, general off the top of my head feelings on a lot of these things. And because I just learned about them within the past 12 hours, 24 hours. So no time to simmer. All right. So, Jed, you have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Let me get back. Dragon Lady, you got anything going on?
I should be doing my usual simming this week. When I remember to post the videos in. Other than that, not doing much at the moment.
Okay, and if you guys haven't done already, he might already be even done there. If you can go check out Dre's at a convention over here in DC, doing that. He'll be back next week, and I'll make him tell me about Daredevil. That will happen. Because no one's talking about that, are they? Is anybody talking about Daredevil?
Yeah.
That's not a conversation.
It's not even showing up on the Samba charts that you showed. No one gives a shit.
And he put the suit on back on, didn't he? He's got the suit back on and everything, and nobody cares.
And there's a second suit, too, that people like on Twitter. They're like, oh, yeah, that's a cool looking suit. And then that's it. It is kind of a cool looking suit. It has the two big D's on it, the classic comic book look. But
well,
who gives a shit? Just
nobody
go watch
about
Netflix.
Yeah, I in my few times I did have in my hotel room. I was able to look at YouTube on it. I could connect it to my accounts on there. It felt weird to me doing that. I saw nobody talking about Daredevil. Nobody talking about it. Not at all. As for myself, we are sort of back this week. You can check out clips from this show tomorrow. We will, follow the events of things they play out during the week. Next weekend, we will have a review of Shooty 2 Season 2. To Ariel's point here, there will be some gaming this week. We will finish up Suikoden 1 HD Remaster. We'll probably get around starting 2. I'm still waiting for the option to pre-order Lunar Remastered Collection for a physical copy. Still waiting for that. That releases in 12 days. 12 days. I'm very excited for that. And anything else? Let's see. Like Jed said, there's no drive-in this weekend, so I'm not sure I'll do anything Saturday afternoon, evening.
I know what you can do.
What?
You can start Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows. We've got time for it.
How about no?
Come on, the chat wants it.
No
I'm
one's
sure
even
the chat
talking about that anymore. That's dead.
I know. No one gives a shit that I just stopped streaming it.
Derby quit. Derby quit playing it too.
I still am going to try to finish playing the game in my off time, but yeah, there's no point in streaming it. No one gives a flying fuck.
Yeah, no one cares. So there will be gaming this week, among other things. No driving this weekend. As I said, I don't know if I'll do anything. I'll be on Saturday, whatever's going on there. Though we'll be Mellow Mondays tomorrow night as usual. And I would like to announce this. I've already run it by Jed, and he loves the idea. New show coming, guys. I got a new show coming. Got to work out the complete format of it. New show based on a segment that some semi-appears sometimes on Mellow Mondays called. It's going to be called Nerd Fight. What it's going to be is 3 people, 1 moderator, 2 debaters. I will choose a topic, or a topic will be chosen, and the debaters will have a week's prep time. Then they'll come on the show, and they'll have at it for like an hour or so, back and forth with the moderator. And it's not necessarily me being a debater. I might be the moderator. I'm going to check it out. We have an idea. what the first one might be. I need to run it by through the parties. But we're going to be a new show called Nerd Fight. Just pure debate, nerd raging, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So look forward to that. As we said, we got Doctor Who Cares reviews next week. Jen will be there, but Dermy should be there. I'm not sure if we have Anime Odyssey this month. Derby and I need to sit down and talk shop about a couple things, including that. His schedule might still be all wonky, so I need to check with him on that. And we'll see if any other streams might pop up. Either way, though, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're happy to be back. I'm happy to be here again. Happy to provide you guys with our special form of weirdness and entertainment. So we will see you guys around the horn later on this week. So thank you all once again. Hit those like buttons. Subscribe to the channel. Links are in the description below. And we'll see you guys moseying on about. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.